Hey boys, it's your old stepdaddy, Fred Hophead. It's Thursday, 2025 March something, whatever. And I'm gonna read a quick one today, post it for posterity. Y'all probably aren't real used to me with a beard, so this is it. So, what do you think? I think it makes me look older than shit, but anyways, in the many days to come to tomorrow, when you see this, you'll be like, wow, his beard's crazy. But, anyways, I'm going to read a quick one today. This is another crazy day at the house here in Syphilis, North Carolina, deep in the crotch of the Appalachian Mountains, or some people say Appalachian. That's how you know they're out of towners. But, anyways, let me turn on some lights here so I can see some stuff. Pardon me. Alrighty, here we go. This one's called It Makes a Pretty Picture. Velma loved wall hangers. I don't know if she hated walls, hated painting walls, or just ran out of drawer space. This was not ideal for a very young boy, that was just achieving coordination and poise, the kind of poise that I obviously have today. So, anyways, I remember this just when I was beginning to leave the kitchen of Velma and try to infiltrate the insides of the shop of Barton. There was the early time I clung to Velma, and she was the person that I adhered to. There was good Velma, bad Velma, and drunk Velma. For a good time of my life, there was more good Velma than bad, and she would delight me with, I love you, and you're a good boy, things like that. Velma was not a real hugger. I mean, she'd hug me. She'd make me hug her. You know, it never felt really authentic. It wasn't like, give me a hug. You're going to school. Give me a hug. Give me a hug. You're going down to the shop. Give me a hug. You know, it wasn't a natural thing, but when she was more of a natural hugger was when she was drinking, and it was typically at a party. I would obviously get into something while they were having their little party, and then I'd have to sit in her lap and dodge the cherry of her Winston 100 as she went on telling a story with her hands. I swear, she must have burnt me with her damn cigarette cherry. God, I hated sitting in her lap when she'd been drinking. She carried a little ashtray around with her, you know, this little ashtray she carried in her purse. I never seen that. This is Ashley's tale, boys. If you remember Ashley, uh, she may be dead when you watch this. I don't know, but anyways, Ashley, let me finish reading this. I had made Velma very cross at myself for playing around in the living room and breaking a special dish. This dish was from her side of the family, possibly from Wales, possibly from Germany, or possibly from the Ulster Scots region. I was absolutely ashamed. It was really punishing. All these dishes on the wall. What the hell? She hung her most valuable dish, but I was a youngin'. But man, she made me feel so damn guilty. And I can remember the times I felt this shame. I broke the dish. I left the gate open and the dog got to a young goat. And it was Gus. And Gus twisted its neck and it walked the rest of its life with its neck all bent over like that. It made me feel so bad. I regretted that so bad. One time I mistook homemade spaghetti sauce that looked frozen, but it wasn't frozen, it was thawed and it had ice on top of it. And wouldn't you know it, who punched it? You know, I come by and punched it. And yeah, the tomato sauce went everywhere. She had a metal yardstick. Boy, she tore my ass up with that metal yardstick. One time I accidentally saw a rifle sitting on my dad's tractor, and I was assumingly familiar with it, and I uh, worked the lever, but I didn't put the hammer down, and I shouldn't have done that. I got in real bad trouble for that. They were so mad at me then. One time I come home drunk. I wasn't driving though at night, and God, they made me feel about this tall. That was probably the third time my dad told me he'd never forgive me and never love me again for what I did to Mama. So, second or third time. One time I failed to dig enough post holes, and my dad was pretty mad coming home. I had to dig so many post holes a certain depth every day, or I was going to get it, you know. So, and one day I got it. Uh, really, I don't have enough time on this earth to review all my misdeeds, but let's get back to the main course. Barton was a man of iron will. He did smoke, but his drinking was entirely under control. I guess this one day was special. Today I was not allowed in the shop because there was some serious business going on. There was some gunsmithing going on. Today a friend of Barton's was over to kind of beg for some free gunsmithing. The man's name was Gene Gosling. He was a very nice-mannered, overly optimistic optometrist. He once tried to cure my lazy eye, but unfortunately, after a month of wearing a patch and only seeing through the lazy eye, it never fixed itself and pretty much stayed lazy, and thusly spread to the rest of my body. I guess that's one excuse. In the future, my shotgunning was a mess. I still have no depth perception. Mr. Goslin had purchased and brought over a used Colt 1911 A1. Oh, the joy of used auto-loading pistols. If you were lucky, the gun was so new, it merely needed to be shot 400 times. I know a few guns Barton bought knowing this was the case. Martin's lips would get as thin as a snake as he told me, "The fucking gun ain't even broke in," walking off. He'd love to go to gun shows and buy stuff that people thought was broke. He could come home and fix it. He would smile like he had a free meal. Breaking in more times than not was cured by polishing the chamber. Jeans, Mr. Gosling's 1911 was the latter. Something was wrong. Something was wrong. I sat in the kitchen watching Velma puttering around the kitchen and accept my question. It would seem since I moved for most part from the kitchen to the shop, she may have been a little more happy to endure my questions. Every now and again down at the shop you would hear a bang, but no other bang would answer. That was a bad sign. We were all kind of waiting for a bang, 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 you know, as an auto loader should do. I don't know if it was stovepiping or I don't know what. But anyways, over the course of the day with the same frequency, a single bang would occur, but nothing would report after. The gun would not cooperate. In my mind, I can see Barton laying the gun on the table, disassembling it, and trying different tactics. My bet is that he polished the chamber, dremeled and fitted the extractor so that it grabbed the rimless cartridge. He made sure there was sufficient tension on the ejector spring, not to be confused with the ejection, which, anyways, yeah. Well, excuse me, it's an extractor spring, and then there's the ejector, which is a little spring piece of metal that pushes the brass out. That's immaterial. Only gun nuts are going to freak out about that. Me getting that wrong. So anyways, I'm sure he was doing all those things. Now, for those of you that gunsmith, you would probably know this, but every adjustment required field stripping the weapon. Number one, make sure the pistol was unloaded. Remove the magazine. Depress the spring plunger cap on the tip of the 1911 and turn the barrel bushing. Remove the link pin without leaving an idiot scratch, which is also the magazine stop. Anyways, slide off the frame, barrel out of the frame, and there you have it. The two offenders being either something wrong with the barrel or something with the slide. Could be other things, but anyways. Every time you did something, you were taking it apart and putting it back together. Myself, when I was tuning my Smith Wesson 25-5, I probably took that gun apart 45 times until I had every part polished inside the frame. K-frame, Smith & Wesson, just everything you could smooth up so that every little part would slide. Sometimes you'd take like a half a link off of the trigger return spring there, but whatever. Anyways, doing this over and over would make you an expert at disassembly. This procedure can be very boring, especially if maybe you're drinking a beer about every time. Most of the most of the morning I sat listening to the single reports. Bang. About half hour go by. Bang. All right. But right before lunchtime is when I heard the last report. It sounded different. It was a lower tone. It was earthy. It was constrained. It was a dull sound. Moments later, Jean and Barton appeared through the kitchen, laughing comically, their eyes rather glazy. The only time I saw them laugh more was when Barton was talking on his CB radio during a particular driving rainstorm after telling everybody on the CB that this is God. This is the beginning of the rapture. And all the Jehovah's Witnesses need to celebrate because their religion is in fact the correct one. They got so much of a kick out of that. They sat back to back in the rain outside. The van had the radio in it. But anyways. Unceremoniously, Barton comes to the wall of heirlooms and grabs a picture off the wall. And then he breaks the glass out with his knee. Next, he clears the frame of any backing. They walk out, laughing away. Later in the day, while Barton was napping, I snuck down to the shop just to look and see what happened. And on the wall, on the cement wall, cinder block building. On the cinder block building, I found a frame, and it was just to the right of a toolbox. There was a wooden picture frame, and inside the frame appeared a bullet hole inside with their signatures, and written underneath the bullet hole, it said, "Copper ball on lime painted cinder block." Copper ball on lime painted cinder block. Barton and Jean. Date, whatever date it was, 1970 something. So there's your little story from me today. I love both you boys very much. I sure hope your day is going good today. And what else have I got here? Let's see here. I got the first and last time I ever picked on somebody. I'll save that one. I got, nope, undid that one. I got the first time I ever punched somebody. And then I've done read that one. So, Mr. Fred Hophead, Noah, and Devin and Noah, I love you both very much. I miss you both every day. I hope you're both being happy and having good days. And I hope you're getting what you want out of life. I really do. If you can get a quarter of what you wish for out of life, you're doing better than a whole lot. So, anyways, I love you both. Oh, I waboo. I waboo both. Bye.